What is up, people? Welcome back to the Final Whistle podcast. This is another edition of the Sideline View. And today, you already know the boys. We have Robert in the house and we have Marshall from Casually FC. Before we get started, please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, share the video, and please comment, give us all your thoughts on the topics of discussion. Marshall, what?
Hey man, obviously today not a very good day to be a Chelsea fan, but it is what it is. Hopefully Maresca fixes up, but today we're gonna definitely be discussing what he messed up and a lot of other things, including the team and all that. But I look forward to I wish it was a better discussion, but yeah, I look forward to the discussion regardless.
Yeah. Also, fresh cut, my boy, coming in clean. Yeah, we see you.
I listen. I was ready for a W today. I was gonna come presentable, and it's an L. That's what it is.
Robert, oh God, biggest troll.
Yeah, man. Again, not ideal way to finish the year, but hey, I got a feeling 2025 is gonna be awesome, man. So we keep on going.
Yeah, definitely. And it's been a roller coaster of 3 games, And while I was visibly upset and angry in my review, when I take a holistic view, last year was much worse.
Oh yeah.
So guess what? I'm gonna be a bit humble, and I'm still gonna be grateful, guaranteed that it's the end of the year. And I keep on forgetting to say these videos. Happy holidays to all my subscribers, to all the people that listen to us, to all the people that watch us, to all the people that take some time out of your day to listen to us, whether we're waffling or whether we're spitting straight facts. But happy holidays, and I really wish you guys have a really brilliant New Year and up the Chelsea. Now, let's get into the discussion. Draw at Everton, loss at Fulham, and a loss at Ipswich. Going into this run, I think all of us expected minimum 7 points with a realistic expectation of maximum 9. Just to keep the gravy chain going, just to keep that buffer of not falling into the fight for top 4, more so being at the top of that fight for top 4, and maybe closing the gap at Liverpool. In this run, we got 1 point out of 9. How are we feeling? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first because I know Robert's gonna find a way to make this optimistic, which we need. So let's get the negativity, or the not the negativity, but I'd like to believe. I'm trying to be rational and realistic about it. Obviously, as the days go on, I'll reflect on this and be a little bit more calm. But this game did just happen a few hours ago, and it's still fresh on our minds. Obviously disappointing run, last 3 game run. It wasn't going to be easy for sure. 9 days, 3 games, right? And so it was going to be a tough run of games. However, again, I don't think it's an excuse for the performances and an excuse for not being able to beat some of these teams. And, it's not like we're the only team going through this as well. Mm-hmm. So that being said, obviously, Everton dropping points there. It's a tough side. Everton have taken points off of Liverpool. They've taken points off of Arsenal. They've taken points off of top sides. They're not necessarily the easiest side to beat, unless you're not in Forest. Especially at Goodison, unless you're Nottingham Forest and you can beat them 2-0. So then we move on to the Fulham match, which I think that one was the most disappointing of the 3, considering we were in the lead. And the first half, we came out guns blazing, playing good football. I think all of us thought we were going to come out of that game victorious. And usually is the case because second half, we usually improve. But in this case, we've had a Potterism or a Potchism, where the second half we came out looking worse. and credit to Marco Silva. That's the manager name, right? I believe for Fulham. Yeah. Credit to Marco Silva. he set up the team really well, and Fulham have been playing really good football this season. I can't deny that. So they weren't ever going to be an easy side, but the way he set up against us was really well done, and as a result, I think deservedly got the victory. When we capitulated the 1-0 lead, so 2-1 to them. And then today, an Ipswich side, which I'm not going to sit here and say they're an easy side simply because they're in the relegation zone. McKenna is a good manager. He was linked with us, and there's a reason why Ipswich got 2 promotions on the trot. He has gone toe-to-toe with Maresca last season, so he knows what Maresca's all about. And I think today just read us like a book in a sense, knew how to counteract us, knew our weaknesses. It kind of, I think, showed the rest of the table or the rest of the league how to go at us. Today was the formula, and Maresca just didn't have the answers. And we have a lot to talk about on Maresca, but all these games, man, between the substitutions or lack of and so on and so forth, it's frustrating. And I really hope that this Saturday, I believe we play, I really hope it comes to an end on Saturday and we can turn it around and we can start winning again.
Yeah, definitely. Robert?
Yeah, man. It's obviously been disappointing a couple games, but on overall, again, if you're told anybody that will be fourth at the end of the year before the season started, many Chelsea fans or many rival fans wouldn't have believed you. Will be what, 1 or 2 points between us and Arsenal. Many people wouldn't believe you. We'll be 4 points. Are we 4 points ahead of Man City?
I believe so. I'll check right now.
Yeah. So I mean, we obviously it's been disappointing, 3 games, but everybody here at the beginning of the season when things were going well said we're gonna have a blip, and so this is the blip that we're talking about. So it's all fun and games to say, it's okay. We need to wait when we have a blip. We're just gonna have to get out to rise up again. But as a fan base, looks like we expect a blip, but we don't know what to do when the blip actually comes. Seems like we lose our cool. Like we can have a blip. Everton, no way. Fulham, no way. Ipswich, no way. We always have one of these results. We've been beaten by West Brom 5-3. Was he at home? There's always these results that happen with us every single time. I personally never like playing, those quote unquote smaller teams like back to back to back to back. I usually prefer to play like a couple smaller teams and then you play, a Villa or Tottenham in the middle there where, it's more expensive and you regain confidence and you can play your football. But overall, I will put this more so on the players because in my opinion, each game Moresca has coached to win, and it's just that the players haven't executed. Whether it's and then mostly our attack, our defense has not been the strongest defense all year long, but our attack has bailed us out. We conceded 2 against Brighton, we scored 4. We conceded 2 against Wolves, we scored 6. We conceded 4 against Spurs, sorry, 3 against Spurs, we scored 4. That's been us. It's just been that the last 3 games, our attack it's just gone missing. For one reason or another, whether people not being available or people not performing at the optimum level, from the Cole Palmers to the Jackson to the Sancho, the Neto, the Nani, and Nkunku, everybody. No attacker has performed to the optimum, to the optimum level. And I think, obviously you can call subs here and there, but I think Moresca has coached each game for a win. Like we got plenty of chance against Ipswich. We shouldn't have given them the confidence when they start pressing us at the beginning. Especially Joao Felix when he got the ball pinged off of him for people being for a couple Ipswich players being physical with him, and at home that happened or away from home. Ipswich will their fans will get into the game. So it was a matter of I heard Red Cucurella saying we just started way too fast. Just like we just wanted to win the game in the first 5 minutes. instead of just taking our time, being patient with it, we just wanted to go gung ho, and that's what you're gonna get for with the young team. You get people like Cole saying, "Oh, now we blitz team and stuff like that." It's like this is the ignorant statement that young teams like such as ours will make, and it just it's just one of those times where our attack hasn't been firing on no cylinder for the last 3 games, and hopefully we come back well against Crystal Palace and going forward in the new year. But yeah, man, it's nothing to panic about. It's disappointing, but it's nothing to be drawing massive conclusions over and sort of overreacting. Say, we need this player, this player, this player, this player in January. We need, this one to get sold, this one to get out of our club in January. It's just like, take a deep breath. It's disappointing. Hopefully we regain our confidence on Saturday, and we go on a little winning streak for the whole month of January and maybe February. So yeah, I mean it's disappointing, but as I always say, it ain't that deep.
Yeah. I definitely understand where you're coming from and what you're saying. I think the issue for me is how we've dropped points and who the blip has come against. Like, I could understand a blip if we played some mid-table team that has better quality than the teams that we've played. Like let's say we had the blip against Aston Villa, Newcastle, and even Spurs to some extent. I could understand that because they have better attacking players and better attacking players than some of the teams that we've played thus far. And I could genuinely understand that, especially if we tried everything in our power to win the game. I think the frustration comes from my side is you're not you're not proactive, and two, there's multiple things that you could have tried, right? In From this is from the coach's perspective. There are multiple things you could have tried to try and bring home the win or solidify the win or even turn a draw into a win. That's my issue. No, the players are not blameless. The players are definitely not blameless. This is not me saying, "Oh, but Mariska could have done this." No, none is not good enough. None is not good enough. Neto is not good enough when they're attacking wise. Sancho, barring the Spurs game, you need to have better end product. Jackson has not been consistent with his finishing in the last couple of games. Palmer is a hit or miss in the past couple of games. The only three solid players I can tell you that keep doing their job are Enzo, Caicedo, and Cucurella. Right? And when you really look at it, Gusto hit or miss, Tosin hit or miss, Colwill hit or miss. But that's more than that's only. I literally just listed three players that gives us consistent performances. That's within that span of the team, right? So at that point, it feeds into what Robert was saying. Some of our players are just not at it at the moment, and they're not performing optimal. And even with the attack, because earlier in the season, the attack was clicking. Palmer is playing the pass when he's supposed to play the pass. Palmer is switching the play when he's supposed to switch the play. He's not hesitant to make that forward pass. Neto is taking on people, right? Noni's taking on people. Noni's having a better touch than he had today. Felix is carrying the ball upfield. No, what it all boils down to is definitely that, but I still think there's things you could have shifted around. Like, perfect example. Don't play this Asiat right back. We know it doesn't work. If Everton had a
Poor
better attack,
Disasi,
they would
bro.
have won that game that this has to play that right back for. And that one would have been 3 losses on the bounce.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, you could have a game like this, it's Ipswich. You could have tried a Chempang. You could have tried it. And if it's not working, you make the sub. Even today, you saw that every time Ipswich attacked, they tried to go down this as his side, and it was because he was susceptible. You could have made a sub. You had 3 right backs on the bench. Cool. You want to say Gusto wasn't good enough? Cool. You want to say Reece James wasn't good enough? But you have to try a Chempong if that's the case. Because you're the same one that said, okay, I want him to stay with us. I want him to sign a new contract. Give it a try. Give it a try. And play. And when you're implementing him, just have him cover the basics. Something he already knows to do. Play someone in a position that they can get the best out of themselves in. He can defend out wide. And this is not me singing a Chempang praise because he's still yet to prove what he can do in the Premier League. But don't play the sassy out there because you know he's going to be susceptible to some of the plays that he was susceptible for us today. And it's a hindrance on the team because it affects what our players do going forward. Yeah. And it's the same thing with Gusto. If Gusto is performing poorly, it affects the winger because the winger has to come back more. Right? My biggest thing with Disasi is at right back is he offers nothing going forward. There's no underlap support. There's no overlap support. And I'm not asking the right back to invert. I'm just asking a right back to play as a natural right back. A natural right back is going to get up at times to either provide that underlap support to retain position and make progressive passes, or do an overlapping support so the winger could cut inside. Right? Nani had none of that today. And this is not, for the love of Christ, I'm not defending Nani. I'm just saying, even if it was Neto out there, it would be the same thing. That's my point.
We saw Malo Gusto, essentially. That's essentially what happened. He had no support, and it's exactly what happened against Fulham.
Look what happened today. The minute Neto and Gusto came on, Neto picked up the ball. Who's that running over you? Who's that running across him to take the defender away so Neto could drift inside? Who's that making the overlapping run so he could play the pass? I'm just saying, you give us 15 to 35 minutes of that, we could have created more chances down the wings. At the perfect example, look at the other wing. The other wing, you had Kukurea at times doing the overlapping thing, putting in crosses, underlapping, helping Felix. Felix was one of our most creative players today. Do you understand where I'm coming from? And that's just having a natural left back doing what he's supposed to do. So when it's a cause and effect. If the Sassy plays right back, he offers nothing going forward. And the way Maresca system is, how you defend is you have to attack just as well. So the defenders have to provide quality going forward. And Sassy gave us none of that today.
But in the Maresca system, though, it's Cucurella was the one advancing, doing most, and he was pretty much our touchline player today. In the Maresca system, if one fullback is advancing, the other one doesn't. The other one stays.
Understood, but you're still missing my point. How much time today did Nani drop back, or even Palmer when he was in the right half space, pick up the ball and is looking for that third option, and they go to this side? You know, this actually was one of the most people on the ball today that had one of the most touches on the ball today. And you know why? When Nani's doubled up on or Palmer's doubled up on, he's there to receive the ball. He's there to receive the ball, but that's actually he's not fast enough. He's not agile enough. So his default is to always go back. His default is always to go back to the right centre back or to the keeper or even to Caicedo. If that was Gusto, how much time we've seen Gusto in that position, and Gusto either beats a man, lays it off into midfield, play a 1-2, and then you get the ball further up the pitch.
But I think the problem today is there was no option in those pockets. That's why they kept on going back to him. Is because Nkunku wasn't dropping fast. How many times did you see Enzo and Cole Palmer pick up the ball and just put their hands up?
Oh, no, we're going to get on Nkunku. I'm starting with Disasi.
And there was no option, so they had to go back to Disasi because Disasi then made himself an option because the attacker weren't making themselves an option. So you can't blame Disasi for that.
I am blaming Disasi because if you're in... understand what I'm saying. I am not blaming Disasi on this. I'm blaming Maresca for putting Disasi in that position. Understand my original point. But because Disasi is not in that position, that's not his natural game. It's the same thing when Colwell was playing left back last season.
Exactly.
And we were saying, that's Poch's fault. Exactly. Don't play Disasi at right back because him being on that right side, he has to get in that position or else he's going to break down even worse. I'm just saying, play someone. We've seen Gusto pick up that role and we've had goals from him just being in that option and having the quality and the IQ to make better passes or pick up different pockets of space where Nani can link up or Palmer can link up and then transition the ball upfield. When that's as it gets that, he doesn't have that, so the default is to always go back, and that's why Delap kept pressing on his side. I'm sorry, Marshall, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I agree with Javon. I don't blame Disasi at this point. I blame the manager for putting him in that position because I know the Disasi of last season isn't this bad. I know people like to clown on Disasi and always like to scapegoat him, just like they like to scapegoat Sanchez and other players in our team. But Disasi is put in a position where he is not comfortable doing this, and we know he's not comfortable doing this. But you persist on that, and this, we don't have to talk about this tonight. But I've been thinking lately that I'm worried that Maresca and Robert, you might agree with me on this. You know how, like, when we are learning, when we are developing as adults, right? We pick up habits from our parents, and we pick up things that, everyone always says we don't want to be like our parents, you don't want to be like my mom or my dad and all this. And then you grow up and you realize, like, oh, they used to do that. I never realized, like, I actually did that too. You pick up on things, you pick up on bad habits, good habits, all that stuff. We have to remember that Maresca, and there's parallels to draw from this. We have to remember that Maresca comes from the school of Pep, that he has learned from Pep. Pep took him under his wing, and he spent a long time with Pep. And I'm worried that, very much like Pep, right? Where we saw last season, Pep insisted on playing Vardio at left back, even though he's not a left back. And he was bad for 3/4 of the season. People want to forget it because they ended up winning the league, and he ended up scoring in the last few games of the season. He had good performances.
It was horrible. On average, he was horrible, bro.
Exactly. On average, he was horrible. And we all said it. It's because he's not a left back. He's a center back. I am worried that Maresca is trying to take that same approach with not just Disasi, but with multiple players in our team. And it also brings me back to another point that I hate to admit, and I hate that we're back here. It makes me feel that going forward for the rest of the season, we're going to have to rely on Reece James to be able to play that position.
Yes.
And I hate to say that because I don't want to rely on Reece James anymore.
Yeah, because he's not prone. Yeah, you cannot rely on an injury prone player, bro.
And if, I know it's an important piece to the puzzle. I know Wesley Fofana can also play that position. Maybe we can do something with Caicedo if Lavia's fit. But ideally, Reece is probably the best fit for that position, considering what he knows at the right back position, what he knows as a CDM in the past, what he knows as a center back. It's like, I hate that Reece is going to be leaned upon again, considering I want to have as least amount of pressure on him so he can have a fit season, let alone, a season where he's mostly available. But I'm seeing parallels from Guardiola here, and I'm worried that this is going to persist. So I'm hoping, Maresca fixes up.
Yeah, I fully agree. And another thing as well, because Reece can play that role to a T, but he's injury prone. This is why I keep harping on just trying a Chempong. Just one game. Try. But
that's again with Pep, right? Pep doesn't like playing young players. For whatever reason, he doesn't trust. And then last game, I forget it's Leicester. He finally tries the youngster. I forget his name. But
I remember.
Again, I'm seeing the parallels where Pep says all these nice things about Cole, all these nice things about Oscar Bob, all these nice things about Rico, and so on and so forth. But it takes him forever to finally integrate him into the team. And right now, when we need that position, I'm seeing the parallels, guys. I don't know, man. I'm seeing the drawing on the
wall. No, it's there. And that's the thing. Why I understand your thinking. But then, again, it's still on Maresca. And I'm, please, for the love of Christ, I am not Maresca out. I'm still a firm believer of Maresca. But I'm saying that's the difference. Maresca, you're your own big man. Make your own decisions, brother. Make your own decisions. You saw that this is what Pep does. Yes, you're from the school of Pep, but make your own decision. It's a different team. Your style of play is different from Pep Guardiola. So you have to take a chance. And a Chempong, bro, if you try a Chempong against these quote-unquote lesser teams, without making too much rotation around him. Basically, this is what I'm saying. You play the first team, but you try a Chempong with the first team players. So you're not making too much rotational subs. You're not making too much. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're not making too much rotation. So say, all right, a Chempong, you're going to be with the first team boys today. I'm going to trust you because Gusto's off form. I can't play this as right back. And Reece James isn't fully fit. Right? And then you have your first team players around him to kind of help him with that. But I don't know, man. It needs to pattern up. Robert, what was he? Because I know you're waiting to come in.
Yeah, man. I get the shout. Obviously, Disas is not a right back, so playing there for him is not his ideal position. But he plays. He's not gonna say, "Man, Gaffer, I don't want to play right back because that's not my position." He's gonna go out there and play and give his best. Unfortunately, his best right back is not good enough. But on the Achampong, point. I get people want a Champong to play just because he's the unknown. It's because you haven't seen people want, oh, we've seen the Saxi, give us a Champong, a Champong can be this bad. And that is the premise. It's not because you believe that a Champong will give you a better right back game than what the Saxi gives you. It's just because you know the Saxi is a known quantity, a right back, and you think, well, a Champong is gonna be better. You know what I mean? Just like people assume, oh, we know what Sanchez represents. Give us Jorgensen, and it's not gonna give away pen like Sanchez against United. Long and behold, you put Jorgensen in it. Even though I thought it was a soft pen,
Didn't
all
think that
Sanchez.
was a pen at
I
all,
don't think it
and
was
that
a
was
penalty
not
at
a
all.
penalty,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. I mean, yeah. It was. I mean, if that was against my attacker, I'm screaming all day, every day. It's a pen because it clipped him a little bit. I'm thinking, yeah. And so that's the whole point here. People try. I mean, the best Achampong is played against day in and day out, week in and week out is against under 21 players,
Yeah, yeah,
and he's
yeah.
played one game in the conference league. I'm not about to put him away. I'm in a game away at Goodison Park. I'm not about to put him in a game away or at home against Fulham against Anthony Robinson,
Emerson.
and I'm not about to put him away at Ipswich. Now, if we were up 3-0 after 60 minutes, yes, I'll bring in Joshua Chempong. But when the game is still in jeopardy, me personally, I agree with Moresca. I know what I know, and that is already delivered. Even though that's disaster, and even though I might not like it, but I understand the thinking behind it.
Mm.
I understand the thinking.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
understand the thinking behind it. And so, my point overall, I don't think the whole 3 games slump thing is on the defense. The defense has been the defense all year long. Our defense has not been great. We have individually our defenders are just poor. Let's just
Yeah.
on that. The last 3 games has been on attack.
yeah.
Yeah.
Previously, our defense would be our
Let's
defense, but
definitely
our
talk
attack
about
would
that.
bail you out.
But no,
The
but you have
fact,
to understand my point. My point is when the team attacks, the entire team attacks, and our attack. I don't know if you, for anyone who thinks I'm waffling, just go back and watch our games. You yourself said it, Robert. Our attack, our best and scintillating play from our attack always starts from the defense. And that's when we had the Fafana, whether he's driving, or when we have a better form, Gusto, picking up these positions, or when we have Kukurea cleaning up from the back and then starting that attacking transition from the back quickly. I'm saying these force changes, if you will, and bad form is affecting how we attack. So yes, it is
I
under
disagree
attack,
with that.
but
I
it's
disagree with that.
bro.
I disagree. I mean, this is just trying to scapegoat Disasi for one reason or another.
I'm
I disagree that it is the
this
reason
didn't
why.
play last game.
No, but I'm saying I disagree that it's the reason why our attack has not been functioning. We have been getting in the final third effectively is our decision making in the final third. Whether it's Palmer opting to shoot instead of passing to Neto, whether it's Jackson not being alert enough to bounce on a header on time, whether it's Neto not taking on his men effectively, whether it's Noni, taking too many touches, not being able to control a simple through ball that's played over the top, whether it's Sancho, dropping a man and then instead of executing a pass, he wants the man to get up so he can drop him again. All of that. I think our decision making in the final third has been the problem, not our build up. I think our build up play is just fine. It's when we arrive in the final third that's when we get stuck, and it is like as today. My first worry, my biggest worry was today. Of all our 4 attackers were me players. They're all me players. Noni
Yeah.
is a me player. Felix is a me player. And Nkunku needs service behind him. Palmer can be a me player sometimes. And
Today
so
was a me
if you
player.
don't think,
Today was
if
a
you
me
don't,
player.
everybody,
Hero ball.
and
Hero ball
yeah,
today.
everybody wants to be the hero. I want to be the one that scores. I want to be the one that people, the Twitter will go off of like, oh no, play him next game. Everybody wanted to be a me player today, and that was a downfall. It wasn't the build up. There was a couple times Noni got the ball instead of releasing it first. He opted to take another touch. There was a time when Felix went and instead of laying off to Nkunku, who had a better shot percentage,
Oh yeah,
he
yeah, yeah,
started to
yeah. In the
shoot
first
himself
half.
tamely.
Oh yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah. So
Yeah.
all of these factors, I don't think our build-up play is the problem. It's when we get into the final third that we get everybody wants to be the hero. Nobody wants to say,
Hmm.
let me drag a couple players and then open space for somebody else to be able to open. Palmer wants to shoot through 5 players.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Noni wants to
annoying, bro.
shoot through 6 players.
That was
You
worse.
know, Felix wants to take 5 men on and then shoot on goal by himself.
Wants to make 3 players before shooting, bro.
Yeah, but that's a problem. The thing that the breakdown the attack. No, I think we build just fine. It's when we arrive in the final third. There's a reason why Casedo and Enzo are still our best players.
Yeah. But yeah, no, but that's all right. So that's with them overcompensating. I genuinely think it's a factor. You are 100% right when you say we have a lot of me players and people were trying to do hero ball. But at times when the game needed to be picked up and the pace needed to be picked up, and when you just needed a decisive to turn and so far, when you needed a Tosin, there's too much times today when the ball went back to Tosin. Tosin is trying to do the hero third ball, where he literally just pass it to an Ipswich player. Before in the past, that wasn't happening. So it's a cause and effect. I'm not saying it's the only thing, but it's still a cause and effect. And then in the final third, we have to talk about all the attackers today. They were woeful. Even the subs didn't come on and change anything, bro.
One in particular that I think after today's game, I can't lie. I can't lie. And I really wanted this to work out because I like him a lot. But I think Nkunku's done in this team. I'm not going to lie to you. I think there was a clear and blatant, noticeable attitude about him or just lack of enthusiasm about him that showed me today he doesn't care. He's checked out. He's like, all right, whatever. I don't play in this team. What do I give a crap? And maybe I'm wrong, but today for me, and we could say he didn't get enough service, all this, I don't care. No, and you could say he's not a striker, I'm not a 10. Yo, Jackson's not a 10, but he drops down and he gets involved. And even when he came on for 20 minutes that he played, he did more or match what Nkunku did all game. And you can tell when Jackson and Nkunku were on the pitch together, we were open. We were open, and you could see why Jackson plays, because he does the pressing, he does the defending stuff. And listen, I can sit here and rag on our attack all day. Obviously, Palmer not good enough, Nani not good enough. Who played on our left side?
Felix,
it was Felix. It was Felix, but Cucurella was on the wing. But today we played with 2 10s. Felix, he had chances, not clinical enough. But Nkunku today, oh my days, man! This guy, we were basically with 10 men. With 10 men today.
Bro, you said that, but for me, one of the poorest persons on the pitch today was Noni Madueke. Right? That was so woeful. And you know why it was woeful? Robert brought it up. And I'm sure Robert would agree with this. Enzo plays a beautiful ball over the top. It's a simple control, knock it at goal first time. Nothing, bro. Absolutely nothing. You pick up the ball on the wing and you're dribbling in and you're shooting at 3 people with your left foot instead of you dragging it back, dragging it right, and then shooting with your right foot.
In that same notion, though, remember, he crossed the ball to João Felix for that beautiful goal in that first half, where João Felix was just offside and they checked it for 15 minutes. That was Nani. That was Nani.
No,
it was Palmer. You're right. It was Palmer. I thought it was Nani.
Nani did put in a ball at the box, but no one was there at the back post.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, bro, I'm not going to defend this performance. This performance was absolutely woeful. In the second half, he got better. The only thing I could probably give you credit for is tracking back, and because he did stop a few things that if he wasn't there would have been a goal. But I'm not, bro. I keep saying this, and it's the same energy I have for Neto. I'm not watching these people for their defensive play. What is this? What do you do? You're a winger, bro. You're supposed to be one of the most exciting players in the team.
Yeah.
But I think with Noni, I mean, I never make a conclusion of a player off of one game. But this is something I've noticed with Noni over time. His control when the ball is played over the top is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Touches today.
Like when the ball is played over the top, he makes those runs. But if the ball is chipped over the top for him, like even today, I think Enzo switched the ball in for him one time.
Yeah, I remember,
he touched
bro.
it and he goes off. He goes out. Like
horrible
and then
game.
that at the ball over the top, it's like it's just controlling first time, or
shoot first time,
or at a volley or whatever the case may be. But it's not something that I've noticed today. I've noticed over time that like his control. I know he works on his shooting. I know he works on his crossing and whatnot. Like, bro, like the amount of times that we'll play the ball like, oh, Noni's in, and it's just like the control. He can't bring the ball down.
Robert,
and if he brings it down, it's with 3 or 4 touches, and by the time he brings it down, the defender is back in position.
Robert, I'd rather him take a shot and he skies it. At least he take a shot, bro. But to have the defender get back and defend that, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. For me, because you were supposed to hold with, for me, that was a very disappointing performance and one of his worst performances in a Chelsea shirt, in my opinion. And Nkunku is not a striker, bro. What are we gonna do?
No, but I'm not having this. I'm not having this either.
I'm not having that nonsense that Nkunku's on a striker anymore.
You didn't let me finish. I'm not defending Nkunku. I'm saying I don't expect better. That's what I'm saying.
No, I expect better.
I do expect better. Like I've seen Cole Palmer play false 9, play the 9, and he's performed. I've seen Gundogan play the 9 and he's performed.
Yeah.
I've seen KDB play number 9 and he's Luis Diaz is playing 9 for Liverpool and dropping masterclasses. Like I'm tired of this Nkunku that is not a 9 nonsense. Like, bro, you are a professional footballer. You are
you can do a job. I understand. You can do a job.
And Javon,
but understand where I'm coming from. I gave up. That's why my expectations isn't where you guys are now.
But for the audiences listening, Javon's not saying that he's not a number 9 and that's why he's not performing. I think what Javon is saying is that he's just not performing in general, whatever, in the number 9, and number 10, in the left wing, whatever. It doesn't matter at this point. Whether it's the knee issue that he had last season, still, he's still getting up to speed, or if he doesn't care. At this point, if you're, and this is the thing, this is the part that's so disappointing to me, because I really, really liked Nkunku when we signed him. When we signed for Chelsea, I got really excited. And I said, bro, this player right here, this signing could be our world-class player signing. This could be our marquee signing. This guy could be the next one that takes us to the next level. And it's been nothing but disappointing. Nothing but disappointing. And everyone's saying on Twitter or wherever, he's not a number 9, he's a 10. I don't care, because if you are a good footballer, your talent is displayed on whatever position you play. It doesn't matter.
And on top of that, if you are a good footballer with confidence and you're committed to a cause, it doesn't matter where they put you, you're going to do your best.
Nkunku in the beginning of the season versus now, it's been a digression. It's been slowly but surely he's been checking out. And at this point, bro, if you don't want to play for Chelsea, it's fine. I get it. You're frustrated. Just dip, bro. Because honestly, Jackson, who is younger than you, less experienced than you, is playing the same position, does more on the pitch. He's almost like a second 10. He almost drops like a false 9. You can do that too, Nkunku, and then that's your position. I don't understand why we have to make that excuse. And I love Nkunku, but we can't make that excuse for him anymore.
When I checked out completely. Today was the day I checked out of the Nkunku hype completely. But man, if you know Nkunku at PSG and at Leipzig, he's a marksman from the free kick.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the positions we took up today, Nkunku was banging those top bins. Free kick. When I see Enzo Felix and Palmer over the ball, and you're not even in the discussion to potentially take a free kick, you don't want to play for Chelsea. Well,
Yeah.
either
No,
that
it's
or you've lost all confidence where the manager doesn't even trust you to try and take a free kick.
I don't think it's. I think there's that. There's the checking out, and I think there's also he walked into Chelsea with like, oh, at Leipzig I was the man. I'm coming here. I'm already the man. Like like we know what we've given Palmer. He was like, but Palmer earned it. And Kunku was okay. I'm coming in. I'm taking the pens. I'm on every free kick. All of it. It's me. You know what I'm
Almost
saying?
entitlement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just that entitlement
I
that
hear
I
you, my
think
man.
he came with, and unfortunately, maybe that could have been possible if he hadn't gotten
Yeah.
injured. But sadly, he got injured. Now coming back and this whole idea, like even when you see him in Conference League, like it seems like even like at first, like Enzo had to force him to celebrate and blow a balloon a couple times. Like, bro,
Yeah.
cheer up,
Facts.
man. Everybody's having a good cheer up. Like we don't have to like be happy that you're here. You score a goal, you have a trademark celebration. Like Enzo doesn't have to come and tell you, hey, pop the balloon, you've just scored a hat trick against I don't know if I don't remember it was Noah or something I believe. Enzo, like you can see Enzo telling you, yeah, blow the balloon, bro. What you want about? Like pop it. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Hmm.
that whole idea and this is where I go back to this fan base. When you start, you call, oh please, Moresca, that's just out of order. This player, like how many times Nkunku in the beginning of the season, this like Nkunku play got 5 minutes? That's all Moresca gave him? That's just that's outrageous. Like give him at least 30 minutes. We're supposed to do in 10 minutes. Like you don't see what Moresca sees in training. Moresca sees this in training. And so it's like, I'm not gonna put this guy in for any significant amount because he's not gonna track back. He's not gonna press.
He's
He's
a
not gonna do any other
liability.
thing.
It's a
Yeah,
liability at this point.
yeah, exactly. So when you are calling for this player to come in, this player to come in, understand Moresca sees these guys every week on the training pitch. And if you're not training much, you're not gonna get to play much. And if
Yeah.
Nkunku wasn't play, was only getting 10 minutes, 15 minutes here and there, it's because that's all
That's
he
all he
earned in
deserved.
training. That's all he deserves from
It's
what he
such a
showed in
damn
Yeah,
the
so
shame
so
training.
too. It's so
let, let,
disappointing because I
let me
really
say
wanted him to
this.
work out. Go
Let
ahead.
me say this last thing on Nkunku. Right? We had Felix, Nkunku, and Palmer on the pitch. Right? Was it so bad of me to expect a lot of rotational play today? A lot of bopping today? Like partner understand. Palmer played fast nine last season, right? Felix
Hmm.
has played fast nine for both Atletico and Barca.
Hmm.
And they have good technical ability. And Nkunku is not a striker. Why was it so bad to expect a little bit of fluidity between the quote unquote ball players today?
There's no chemistry.
No chemistry. Yeah.
I don't think Felix and Nkunku likes playing with even in the Conference League. Like
I
Nkunku
just
will
think
have a
Nkunku
shot.
doesn't like
Felix will
playing with
be
any of them, to be honest.
That's what
Felix
it
will
looks
be open,
like.
Yeah.
and Nkunku will shoot. Same. Felix will have Nkunku wide open and with a through ball simple, and Felix will choose to go and shoot. I don't think they particularly have an understanding with each other. I don't know if whether they like each other or not, but I don't like. As soon as I saw the lineup, Nkunku and Felix, I said, "Oh boy, this is not
Yeah.
our attack is not gonna
Selfishness.
flow. This is not gonna
I,
be because I don't think they have good chemistry between the two of them."
I hate to admit it. Like I saw the lineup and I was like, oh my god, and Kunku's finally gonna get a chance. Like, please, I want to see this. And oh guys, can you tell how disappointed I actually am? Like I am so
Bruh.
disappointed. Like I'm so upset by it because I really like the player, but I can't rate it now. But I think Felix and Palmer I think were okay in terms of like link up play and chemistry. I just think Nkunku drives a wedge into it because he's just nonchalant. He just wants the ball to be at feet. He wants to, you give me the positions that I want to be. I want to run this way. You find me when I run this way. I'm not going to try to find you. Like, remember there was an interview, right? Where Thierry Henry said, who was it? It was, he was talking to Arsene and Arsene
Yeah.
Wenger told him, listen, do you think that this player is going to give you the ball the same way as this player and this player? And that's Henry says that's what made him a really good striker, a really good player, is his ability to understand his team and his ability to understand how they're going to give him the ball and work with them. I don't think Nkunku's working with them. I think Nkunku's working on his own time and his own pace. He wants to do things his own way, and I think that drives a wedge. In terms of Felix and Palmer, though, just so I don't dwell on Nkunku, because I can go on Nkunku all night. In terms of Palmer and Felix, I think there's something there. We saw it work against Leicester. I just think today it's a lot of what Robert said. I think Maresca is to blame for a few things, but in terms of the result today, I think Maresca did set us up for a win. We did have chances. We had a 2.04 expected goals or something. We saw, and even today, there's a few glimmers of positivity today. I think, and this might be wild, I think today revealed that maybe playing João Felix in the striking position from time to time might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, because the chemistry between Felix and Palmer is better.
I think,
Not even just that, but guys, he can head the ball. How many times did he head the ball?
true,
How many
true.
times did he? This guy has hops. I thought he was
good.
playing
He's good in the
basketball.
air.
This
He's good
guy
in the
has
air.
hops. He's good in the air, and we've needed that, especially since we're crossing the ball so much in recent games.
While it was offside, to be fair, is the only one that scored today. So,
Yeah, but I to be honest, I think the Cole and Felix tandem works if Jackson is the striker, because Jackson
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
connects.
yeah.
Jackson is the
Yeah,
connector.
Jackson is just such a good glue,
Like
bro.
Palmer was in this pocket, Felix was in this pocket, and Nkunku was just up top. It wasn't connecting, so they had to
And
go
even
back
at
to
times
Enzo.
he
And
was
Enzo,
when he was
yeah.
supposed to drop, he's behind
Enzo's
them.
like, come on. And Palmer's like, put his hands up in the air, like, somebody come, because like those little pockets, Jackson will drag the center backs in those little pockets to allow maybe Felix to make a run, to allow maybe Noni to make a run. But Nkunku was just standing there in between the center backs, like, bro, do something.
Bro, there was one time today where I saw Felix on the ball and two defenders was coming towards him and there was a gaping hole and I'm like, who's making a run? Who's making a run? And when I'm looking, Nkunku's just there waffling about, bro. Listen, I'm not. We have to wrap up now. We have to wrap up soon. I'm not going to spend the rest of this episode talking about Nkunku's deficiencies. Listen, the January transfer window is about to open in a few days. Liam Delap, your addition. Respect.
Man of the match for his switch.
I've been telling
It was
you.
phenomenal.
I've been telling you. I watched this kid a couple of times. I was like, no. He is like, I told him. I think I tweeted this. I said he is the closest thing to Jackson with a box presence that I've found in world football.
Robert.
And you're missing one thing.
There's no other striker that would complement this team more than Dilap. Anywhere in world football that I've seen, I haven't seen like Samu, awesome in the box. Duran finishing, shooting, exceptional. But this kid, physical, fast, press.
I
with
was
him,
about to say that
can-
what impressed me
Bro,
the most today was his physicality. Because there was times where he was running by himself, tossing, bouncing off of him.
Yeah.
Cole bouncing off of him.
This
Holding
is
up the ball.
bouncing.
It was insane. You know what, Robert? You said that, right? And I remembered you said that. And while I'm watching the game, I was like, is this what it's like to have Jackson against you? This is insane.
Yeah, bro.
Like, dude, they can't do anything to this guy. It's ridiculous.
And I think he's good in the air as well. He's very physical.
He's good in the air. Did you see that? Did you see that shot? Like it seemed like the angle was gone, and
Jurgens had to pull out a save.
Bro, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, this kid, I watch him like after Arsenal, even though they lost, he gave Saliba a hard time. Saliba and Gabriel, bro. He gave them a hard time, and I was like, no. I tweeted after that game. I tweeted, I was like, there's no striker in world football that I would want to come here and partner up Jackson as a number 9 or to fight with Jackson as a starting number 9.
Bro, because he could. I was just saying today, if he came here, he could easily be a starter. He could easily be a starter.
Oh, bro! Imagine if he comes here and dislodge Jackson. That means his levels.
Boys, imagine if he comes here and they both play at the same time. Just like the possibilities,
bro. The possible, but I'm saying that to say this: our striking substitution, if you're not going to trust you, our striking substitution cannot be Nkunku anymore. That's all. That's why I brought
I'm
it
so
up.
done.
That's the main point. I'm done with
I'm
it.
done.
I think this link. I don't know if you've seen the link to Kolo Muani recently. That personally, if we need one on a loan until June, until the
That's not a
summer,
bad option. That's not a bad option.
Yeah,
I'll take
as a
Kolo.
loan option.
As a loan option, I will take him because off the ball is great. You know, he's physical as well. He can carry the ball. His finishing is questionable,
Yeah,
but everything else
average.
off the ball,
Mm-hmm.
he has it. He's trying to bench Nkunku in France just because Deschamps likes what he brings
And
off
he's
the
a
ball.
striker, bro. He's a striker. He has the instincts of a
Bro,
striker.
see, this is the thing in the striker. I'm not like, I want a player, an attacker that works hard off the ball,
Yeah.
that presses well, and like all this is not a striker, bro. If you're a good footballer and you work hard and
Yeah.
you play hard, you will play.
Yeah.
Jackson
No,
started off as a
but
winger.
understand. There's certain instances. There's certain instincts
Yeah. Instincts.
that
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
you
hear
have
that.
The goal
I
and
scoring
you
hear that.
have as
instincts.
a
Yeah.
nine. And whether you like it or not, Jackson have some of those instincts. Not all of them, but he has some of those instincts, right?
He's
And he's been
developing
playing
them.
in that position
Yeah.
longer, and he's developing them. I at this point, I just want that sub for a striker to be an actual striker.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
I hear
100%.
Yeah.
I hear that.
On that point, we're gonna wrap it here, boys. Firstly, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us on the Paddles of Podcast. You can catch Marshall at Casually FC. He'll be doing his Chelsea. I'll let him tell you. I won't say all of that for him.
No, Javon, say it for me. No, big up. Always a pleasure to be here and talk with you guys on football. Obviously, I wish I was on a better note, but I like this. I feel like I got a lot of my frustration out today, especially on Nkunku, man. You saw the stream you were on earlier today, Javon. It was chaos. It was chaos.
Yeah.
But no, today for sure, disappointing result. But let's pick our heads up. We are still in the top 4. We have a little bit of a cushion, right? But let's keep working on expanding that cushion. But as for me, Casually FC on YouTube, Twitter, I stream twice a week at least, Wednesdays and Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. You could just check Casually FC on YouTube, hit the bell notification so you know whenever I go live. I think my next live stream is going to be Wednesday. I'm doing a call-in show, so I'm going to deal with a lot of upset Chelsea fans. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, man. I'm on Twitter. But hey, subscribe to these guys, top content creators here. Yeah, if you wanna chat with me, come find me on Twitter, man. And find me there. I'll be there defending Disasi and Sanchez.
You one on God over there. Here. But please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification to notify when I upload. Yes, people. Happy New Year. Blessings up the Chels. Let's hope we can start the new year against Crystal Palace with a win and then go on another winning run, because I don't see why we cannot go on another winning run. We have the quality and our manager is smart enough.
Players returning too.
Yeah.
Up the Chels, up the likes, up the subscription. Peace.